Let's now check on the markets in Nigeria. Of course, the markets really have been trading flatlining recently. We've seen the market go up slightly, come down slightly. Of course, yesterday it came down ever so slightly. And let's now cross to Dunn Loren Merrifield, where Abdul Garba is standing by to give us some perspective on that market. Abdul, thank you so much for joining us. So like I mentioned, the market has been trading within a narrow range this week. We're interested to get your perspective on where it's headed. Recently, we've seen a slowdown in the release of results, and so one can imagine that more things for investors to think about, especially as we wait for the second round of results, perhaps sometime in July. Your thoughts about where the market is right now?
1,000 points, that's the index level, slightly 36,027, slightly higher than yesterday's level, 0.10.
Okay, and so let's talk about where to invest in this environment. Like I mentioned, the market's pretty flat over the last few sessions.
Yes.
Do you think that we should continue to add to our banking stocks, to our portfolios right now? Because a lot of people are talking about consumer stocks being a bit pricey.
Okay, consumer stocks, with respect to banking stocks and consumer stocks, well, on both sides, we have their PEs not at their highest levels, not at their highest historic levels. There's still a lot of, let's say, yield offered by the earnings results that have been published so far. There's still, it looks like there's some opportunity there with respect to other available investment opportunities we have within the country.
Okay, so you think banking is a good idea and perhaps some consumer-focused companies as well. But let's move on to small caps. Your thoughts about investing in that space? Many people say it's a risky place to be, given challenges with liquidity for many of those companies. Your thoughts about buying into that space?
Yes, small caps do present an opportunity in the case of stores. They can act as strong stores for value, but you also have to wait for some time to be able to realize that it's not every market turn that you have the opportunity to be able to get out of small cap investment. And the challenge there is that there often is a lot of discount on the price. But as you rightly explained, there's a liquidity problem there too. But it.
All right, I'm struggling to hear you. I'm having a little problem with the line on this side. Hopefully, okay, I think it's sorted out now. All right, so you think it could be a good idea, but there are some risks. Are there any companies in that space that you think investors should focus their eyes on now?
Well, we put a lot of emphasis on the companies that are not the largest, that do not commonly come under focus, as in the top most capitalized companies, and there you have about 20 stocks. So if we are saying small cap, it's actually very relative. You cannot look at a company that has less than $1 billion in capitalization, and that would be a very problematic stock to actually pick. It would be better to just say anything that falls over the range of 1 billion to about 20. And in that universe, you typically find some number of banks, and in this case, we stick to a pick. We had Sterling Bank,
right,
which is a store of value. We've seen that in terms of its fundamentals, and also we've seen that on Diamond Bank.
Okay,
as well.
Well,
yeah.
I think a lot of people will argue against calling Diamond Bank a small cap, but I get your point. It's important to define these things, and I guess that will always be subjective. Thank you so much, Abdul. We're having a little challenge with the line, so we may need to wrap it up there. Abdul Garba with investment research at Dunn Loren Merrifield.